Yo, welcome back. It's another Den Den Boys video. My name is Garth.
Vaughn.
Together we are the Den Den Boys, and today we are inducting another game into the Den Den Boys Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
How many have we got there now? Three?
3 or 4.
Alright, so this is the fourth one.
Yep.
And to be honest, this is probably a first ballot Hall of Fame. It probably should have been the first pick, but we were trying to keep our powder dry. The game we are inducting into the Hall of Fame today, Super Monkey Ball for the Gamecube.
Legendary classic.
Well, it is absolutely a classic. So a quick little bit of history
Bit
about
of history.
the game.
So it's a launch title for the Nintendo Gamecube.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Japanese game. It's developed by Sega, but on a Nintendo system. Shock horror. It was an arcade game. I think on the Naomi 2 board. It theoretically should have been a Dreamcast game.
Very close to becoming a
The
Dreamcast
Dreamcast
game, yeah.
died, so it shifted over to the GameCube. Came out for launch. It became Super Monkey Ball. I think the arcade was Monkey Ball. They added mini games, gave it a sort of lick of paint, and changed some backgrounds. But the synergy where it really sort of popped was the GameCube analog stick.
Yeah, it was built. It was made for that controller.
Yeah,
I mean, in the arcades, it had a banana-shaped joypad, which bucket list things in my life. To be able to play, if I ever found that in the wild in Japan on my many trips, I'm always hoping I'll walk into an arcade one day and there'll be Monkey Ball, and I'll just lose my marbles. But it was a banana-shaped controller.
Yes, yeah, aptly so. The GameCube game was actually sponsored by Dole.
Yes, Dole Bananas.
Sort of fruit, banana company. I think it's been removed from sort of subsequent revisions, but they were linked, so the bananas have Dole branding on them, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there you go. It's Japanese GameCube.
And so, for those who haven't played it, the way it plays is literally what it sounds like. There is monkeys in balls, and you are guiding them around a various amount of mazes. Where there's a start line, and you've got to get your monkey to the end finishing line, break the tape, you beat the stage.
Bit like Marble Madness.
Yeah, Marble Madness.
Kind of,
with monkeys in a ball. Yeah, it's a perfect way to play.
And we're always saying, like, people just think, are you pushing the monkey, or are you tilting the maze?
Yeah, I can never see it. I can never see that because it is supposed to be that you are tilting the maze,
and the monkey just rolls.
But my brain doesn't see it. Do you see it?
Not really. I think in the day we were like, no, we're in control.
We're rolling the monkey. We're pushing the monkey. The monkey, like one of the big bubbles that we're playing. So that's how the gameplay works. And then obviously the reason why it's at its core, the reason why it's so great is because simplicity is king. Like there's nothing to it. It's like just a joystick and A to B. That's all you have to know.
And don't fall off the edge of the maze.
Yeah, and obviously there's traps and there's pitfalls and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's roll your ball from A to B, and it's so simplistic.
A time limit, so you can't dawdle too much. They start off as basic sort of courses. The level design's amazing, by the way, and they start off as basic, and then they become skinnier and skinnier, more intricate slopes, you name it.
And I guess that's why, so that's the gameplay. Like you already mentioned, the mini games are in there as well. But the fact that there's like this progression of skill, like we start off with the beginner, and there's one stage in the beginner stage where you're like, wow, this is kind of tricky. I don't know how to get your money. And then you move to the advanced, and you're like, wow, there's a couple stages in there. You're like, wow, that's really stumping me. But then that becomes like child's play. And then you move your way onto expert, right, with 50 stages. Yeah. And even then, level 7 was your first hurdle where you're like, I don't even know how you beat this. And then you start getting a little bit further, and then remember the jigsaw part of the part where you can fall straight through? You have to literally just run it and bounce your monkey across, and then pull back on the brake so you don't fall over the next ledge. I mean, there's just the progression of skill is why this game is so great, and the gameplay being so simple.
And a special mention has to go to Monkey Target.
If you're talking mini games, absolutely.
You've got the main game and you've got the mini games, which are a huge part. Like we sunk, many hours into Monkey Target. There's a bunch of sort of like.
I can't remember how many. It's 12, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I mean the bowling is such a
Monkey Bowling's great. Yeah, we love Monkey Bowling. Yeah, that was a really good mini game as well.
Yeah, pound for pound, the bowling and the Monkey Target. Yeah. Could almost be separate games in their own right.
Yeah. And if you've seen, if you're talking about why this game's in the Hall of Fame, like if you watched our last video about the top 10 games of all time, this is our greatest gaming achievement of all time. So for that reason, it's got to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, some of the some of the stage designs. I love the themes of the, remember that you start going to the underwater stages and the whole
the ice world.
The ice world with that sheen on the floor. It's a beautiful
looking game, and a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it is a rocking soundtrack. Yeah,
techno-y sort of. It fits it beautifully.
Yeah,
and the Sega branding, the level where you go over the Sega logo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like in the desert, I love that.
And to the point, like I exclusively think of this game, and especially expert mode, of the idea of how we played it. So, the idea that we were good players on our own, but then we had our specialties that we knew we could do, and combining those forces together, we were able to beat the game in master mode. And even certain times, I still play the game now where I'll play a stage that you would have played, and I find myself going, this is a bit weird playing the stage on my own. They're like exclusively linked to you, and my stages were linked to me, and it's just like, that's how I remember the game. I don't even think of it. So really, like, out of 50 stages, there's probably like 30, high 20s that are mine, and high 20s that are yours, and so I don't really ever play the full 50, you know what I mean? So that experience is attached to it's really cool. And just devilish. I just love the fact that you're always challenging yourself, like we mentioned before. Like, remember that stage where it was just the rings, and you would fall off instant death, and you were just running around this ring track. I'll put it in the video, and then there was this one path that was a slither of path, but if you did it, it was just bananas the entire way. And of course the challenge is, well, can I do that? And I did it, put my mind to it, just dedicated myself to just doing that slither path to get all the bananas.
And there's warp gates, and there's multipliers. It's a high score game.
It is a high score game.
It's just an incredible experience. Gamecube launch title that has shaped us, and a very easy inductee. As we were saying, could have been our first induction, but it's the greatest achievement.
And the reason why it's so great too is they perfected it the first time. Like, they literally came out of the gates and just hit a home run with this 10 out of 10 game. Mini games are all perfect. The gameplay's perfect. The challenge is perfect. And then every single subsequent version after, they tweaked with the
even the GameCube sequel, they sort of added pause buttons and fast forward buttons. It was about all they could do to sort of.
I've heard people say that they like, Monkey Ball 2 is better. I was like, how is that possible? Like, there's no way that the second one beats the first one. The
first game is a pure experience.
It is pure perfection. Do you have any highlights from the time? Can you think of like a particular time or a moment or a stage where you like?
I mean the first time you beat level 7, you're on expert mode, sort of stands out, and then kind of like coaching you through it, like in the early days. So sort of playing them, but also coaching other people, through levels. Are some of the greatest memories, and then sort of daring to.
It's a real mental game, isn't it? Because it was just that hurdle. Once you crossed it, then the mind shifted a bit. Oh, I can do this, but it's this hurdle. You're like, once you get stuck, you can't get yourself past it. And when I beat that, it was like, okay, all right, this is doable, cool. My memories of the game, like my big memory of the game was around Monkey Target. Obviously the main game, but Monkey Target for me, like when you play Monkey Target, every time you race down the ramp, there was these item pickups, and you would save them up for like a multiplier for your score, and eventually there was a magnet power up, and if you could fly, you would just literally land and stop on a dime. So we would save for that to land on we found the 500 pillars, which were tiny
didn't
tiny
even
dots.
Notice them the first time you played
they were dots on the map. They were
Yeah.
literally needles in a haystack. They were so tiny. And then the realization that we became able to land on those platforms without the sticky pad by flying your monkey ball into the wind, and you could just plane it down and like almost stall your monkey ball onto those platforms without using the item. That was like an amazing memory.
At the last minute, sort of.
That was an amazing memory of like dropping onto those pads.
The physics in that monkey target.
They could have built up. They could have built a whole game around that monkey target, and they ruined that in the second one. Remember they changed it and it just didn't hit the spot. So yeah, I guess I can't think of anything else. Anything else memorable about it?
Yeah, I think just that our greatest achievement. You know, I think it's daring to dream and working together and strategizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the way we found it too. Like we
yeah,
had
the
no
blockbuster video.
Blockbuster video and hiring this game out. We had no idea about
went
this
in
game.
blind.
It wasn't like
the
we were
internet
waiting.
hadn't ruined it. You know,
I can't remember reading about it. I can't remember knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
And
I
just
think like at launch, like I got my GameCube at launch, and got Wave Race and Star Wars Rogue
of course,
Squadron,
yeah,
but Super Monkey Ball sort of didn't
under the radar.
Yeah, under the radar, like a Sega on Nintendo.
To walk in on a Friday night, and be like, well, what are you gonna get, dude? You get some beers, piece of this looks fun, and for it to be our greatest achievement of all time, based on just walking into a blockbuster on a whim and getting this game. I mean, I can't rave highly enough about this game.
Yeah.
Like we've made the plaque, we wrote down the exact time, we clocked it. I mean, the other thing was too, we actually did master mode twice.
Yeah.
So we beat it. Beat it once on your last attempt, which was a crazy effort. We'd had many failed attempts. We had 2 CRTs set up. We had one for the real game, one for our practice. We would practice, get our eye in, do the real thing. 20 hours we played straight, trying to clock my master mode.
Yeah.
And then it happened at 4 o'clock something in the morning, where you had one last chance. You bounced it through the goal.
Yeah.
Elation. It was like winning the Super Bowl or winning the Premiership. It was just like better than anything you could ever imagine.
May never be matched.
No. I mean, so the legend that grows with that moment, and I don't think it's an achievement many people would do.
No.
I don't know anyone
if you
else
have,
who's done it.
leave us a comment.
If anyone's done it, if you've master moded it, I'd love to know. But it's just memories, man. I just think about this game, and I think about all the times we stayed up playing Monkey Target, and all the times we stayed up trying to clock that game, and to achieve it. Not sometimes there'll be a game that's got a really hard achievement, and you don't get there. Not often do we do that, but this one, once upon a time, seemed like it was never going to happen. And
the Everest, we
nailed it, and we still live in hope. We live in hope that one day they'll release a Monkey Ball on a new system that will match the original. But we're always sorely disappointed, unfortunately. Yeah. All right, well there you go. That is our 4th entry into the Den Den Boys Hall of Fame. Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube, the original, the best. Nothing's topped it since. It's a worthy entry into the Hall of Fame. In terms of the video, thanks again for watching. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Thanks for getting up here. Like, we're back. Give it a like, give it a share, do all those great YouTube things. We hope you're enjoying what we're putting out, and hopefully we'll see you very soon again for another Den Den Boys video. Peace.